everyone, and welcome back to the TSI. I'm the Orcosaurus, and today I'm going to show you 4 environmentally conscious games that you might not have been played or might have missed. Am I kidding? Some of you probably played some of the candidates on here, but that doesn't matter. I thought it would be a cool topic to dive into, so that is what we're gonna do. We're going to start with our first title. Our first title is the most obvious choice on this list. It's called Terra Nil, and it is one of those games where you just cannot do anything else but to recommend it in such a list. It is a game where you go out and try to fix the environment, more or less. So that means you, at the start of every map, have a polluted environment, and your goal is to regreen it, bring back the animals so they rehabitat, and then obviously just get all your stuff that you used to make this happen out there. And it's great. What you do in this game often feels much more like a puzzle than an actual strategy game, because you have your map, which is in a certain layout. Some maps are randomly generated, some are not, and you get a set of tools that you can use. So, however that composition is, you have to adapt your strategy to it. For example, if you have a snow map, you will have different conditions from how to get the animals back into your habitat, speaking in terms of like temperature or humidity, than, for example, a tropical map where you have to have a high temperature, for example, and a high humidity so the animals come back. And the tools you use are always kind of different, and that's what makes it great. It is a very, very, very fun game to play. I wasted a lot of time on it, and I highly recommend this one. Not just if you're into environmentally friendly games or environmentally conscious games that have this kind of theme, but in general, if you just like to chill and figure out how to approach a map and how to get to the goal of what is set out of the game, this game is for you. The next game on our list, and this is also more or less an obvious choice, is Wandering Village. Why is this on the list? Because through the allegory of living on a giant, moving, living, breathing creature, it teaches to live in symbiosis with your environment. There's decisions that you can do. For example, you can like harvest the onbu spikes on the back of the onbu, but the onbu will trust you lesser, and you also have to build not only your village on top of the onbu, but you also will have to take care of it. Will have to feed it. You will have to steer it even in different directions, so it doesn't get into harm's way or just walks into a field of spores that are extremely dangerous for you, your tribe, and the creature, obviously. And it's such a great theme and a very well executed idea that I do think it is very, very, very good, of course. And it also is a lot of fun to play. It is a very good colony builder with a lot of survival aspects to it, and with a lot of management aspects to it as well. So there is a lot to take in here. And I also highly recommend this one if you want to teach someone, or if you have like friends who want to play games that teach about the environment, that you use this one as a teaching tool on how to live in symbiosis with your environment. So the next 2 games are a little bit more outliers, but I still wanted to bring them on because I like my oddball games and my lesser known games, and I wanted to talk about those 2 a little bit more. First up is Crab God. Crab God is a roguelike strategy game that's a bit more on the easier side of things. For some people, it might outstay its welcome. I'm gonna be honest. I personally like it a lot. So what is Crab God about? You have your little crabs, and they protect one egg that you set up at the start of your run to become the new Crab God, essentially. And what you do is you give these crabs various roles. So you have like one that is the gardener who raises plants. Then you have a collector who runs around and collects food. Then you have one builder that builds stuff, and you have one crab that is constantly praying, so you get the currency that you need. It's a bit like, you can imagine that currency thing a little bit like in Plants vs. Zombies, where you have the sunflowers and they drop like these little orbs. It's just the same in Crab God as well. And then you have the hunters or the fighters that fight the darkspawn, the enemies of the game. And the idea is basically you have a day and night cycle. During the day cycle, you just collect resources, tend to your gardens, and try to get everything ready. So also animals come back or come into your habitat. So you get more food, essentially. That's the idea, because food is the be all and end all that you use to level up your crabs in between missions. And at night, the darkspawn will come and attack your base, so to speak. So you have to be ready, and it is a lot of fun to play, especially in short bursts. Like I said, it's a bit more on the easier side, a little bit simple, so some people might be put off on that. I don't really mind that. It's a great thing, and I do recommend this game if you want to chill a little bit more and do a few roguelike runs and then just play something else after that. And the last game I have for this list is Diluvian Winds, which is also different from the other games that we already have. In Diluvian Winds, you are a lighthouse keeper and you are tasked to maintain not only the light in the lighthouse, but also you have a building behind your lighthouse that you can expand, and to take care of your guests on the lighthouse while also fighting tidal waves that come in at any given point. To do that, you have to send your guests to work essentially. In the building behind your lighthouse, you have like, the house has different components such as a garden or a carpentry where you can tell the lighthouse guests to just make new wood planks as resources or to harvest greens, so to speak. And the guests all have different attributes and abilities. Some are better at harvesting greens, some are better at making wood. It really depends. And it's a management sim, more or less. Also a little bit on the easier side, since you don't really get a lot of challenge. Even on the highest difficulty, it was pretty easy. I was never really at risk of losing. So that is probably the biggest bummer about the game. But other than that, I really like the art style. I like the idea of it, and it shows how to work together during a global catastrophe, because the game is themed around global warming and how people can stick together during these trying times. So, and that's it, folks. Those were 4 games with an environmentally friendly message. If you like what we do here on the TSI, please like and subscribe the video. I've been the Orcasaurus. Thank you for watching, and we are back with more soon. Take care, everyone, and bye-bye.